So we got a new Battlefield development update. I just recorded my reaction. I watched through the entire thing, gave my commentary, and wow. Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Battlefield is now starting to ramp up the promotion for their Season 1, which is launching next month. Yay, can't wait. We're just going to jump right into it. There's really not much more introduction that needs to be said. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're covering everything from Battlefield, Call of Duty, and any other AAA indie FPS. It's what we do here. My name is Big Fry. Let's get into it. All right, let's do this thing. I'm excited to see.
Over the past few months, we've been focusing on what's next for Battlefield 2042. We've been taking this time to listen to you, our players, so we can focus on improving and evolving the game based on what we've heard.
So I'm just going to level with you. There's going to be a lot of pausing in this video. We're literally watching, we're watching an early access game be developed in real time from $1 billion studio. Just so everybody's aware of what's actually going on here.
Updates in this time have seen the arrival of features that weren't present at launch, as well as extensive improvements and fixes. We hope this shows you just how invested we are in this game. So,
why wasn't this all done before, though? Like, it's so weird.
We won't be revealing Season 1 today. That's for next month. We will be giving you an overview of what we're focusing on and what you should expect.
Bro, I mean, we're still not even at Season 1 for this game. Crazy.
Over the next few months and beyond for Battlefield 2042.
Okay.
Hey folks, I'm Freeman, Battlefield's community manager. I'm joined by senior producer Ryan MacArthur and creative director Lars Gustafsson. Let's start by talking about the main focus areas that we've identified and the types of things we're looking to improve.
Yeah, I mean, we spent a lot of time taking feedback from the players, looking at the data we have in the game, and just looking at the game we intended to build.
Okay.
So we've got our maps. You know, how do we bring back those classic Battlefield experiences that allow players to sort of play the classic Battlefield they want? And that's with all the new maps we create, but also how do we address the challenges that we have with the existing maps that we've launched the game with?
Sure.
Our game modes and experiences, how do we add variety? How do we add depth? How do we add differentiation across all of the modes in the game? The core gameplay, sort of that really tight through the gun experience. So obviously, there's been a lot of feedback around specialists, gunplay.
Let's talk about it.
All of these things that sort of really make that tight Battlefield experience that our players love. And obviously new content. When's new content coming? What type of content can players can expect? How does that new content need to change and adapt to the learnings we've got from our players and the feedback we've got from our players?
Sure. Let's get into the maps, baby.
Start with this first section of maps. What are the changes that players can expect to see? And really, when are we expecting to actually bring them to the game?
You're going to see the first of these changes with the launch of Season 1. So the Season 1 map, it's probably my most favorite. And Lars will tell me it's because I'm Canadian, but I think for me, I mean, this map is different from the other 7 that we created at launch.
Wait, we're getting one map. We're getting one map. Okay. All right.
It's got a ton of verticality. It's got good space for vehicle play, but it's also got those things that make a Battlefield map great. When you look at how this map plays, it's at the level we expect from ourselves as game makers here.
Let's see it.
You know, on every map we make moving forward with beyond Season 1, we start to apply these new standards we've set. But also the team has done a real deep dive into the maps we created for launch. Kaleidoscope is the first one we're going to see. So late in Season 1, you're going to see
late in Season 1. So holy fuck. So we're getting a new map when Season 1 comes out, which I believe is in July. A season usually lasts 3 months. Kaleidoscope isn't being fixed until like September, October. What the fuck is going on?
Reintroduction of Kaleidoscope that sort of has, you know, the things that we see our players really craving at the moment.
Let's take a look at that and have a look at some of the changes.
Wait, we don't even get to see what the map what the new map looks like? They're going to talk about this map that's being fixed like later on in Season 1. It might be like late August, September. Like, what is going on?
On Kaleidoscope, we've revised areas across the entire level, adding more cover, creating new flag positions.
Okay, hold on. Let's pull that back. I wish they'd do a side by side. So we got before, we got after,
and improving the flow across the whole map. Cover and terrain has been raised, and new forward operating bases have been added to increase close quarters combat.
Why does it look like there's just more open area?
And new forward operating bases have been added to increase close quarters.
So it looks like they took out some of the trees and kind of raised some of the terrain. Looks like they kind of made like clear paths, which is really good. I don't know about the trees though. Like it feels like it's more open
combat. Not only that, but we've made sure more of the new assets that we've used on this map benefit.
Yeah, this is a much needed fucking change. Like, dude, imagine playing 128 players and the levels are just this open. There's no cover. That was one of the biggest complaints from launch, from beta, from the alpha, is that there was just nothing.
We've made sure more of the new assets that we've used on this map.
Very much a welcome change here. Good.
Benefit from increased destruction, helping to change the battlefield more drastically throughout the...
I feel like there still needs to be more shit down here, but good that it looks like they added something at the top of the stairs here, some stuff here. Another something maybe right there just to fill that gap. I'm not sure how tall that thing's going to be there.
Rounds. Let me show you around the changes we've made.
Okay.
In the park, we've installed a forward operating base, heavily fortified.
Ooh.
This is great to defend and a challenge to attack.
Yeah, that looks awesome. Actually, it's funny when you're looking at it from this perspective, you don't really realize how big this area is, right?
Installed a forward operating base,
and then you see that it's like, oh shit,
this is great to defend and a challenge to attack.
Dude, yeah, more shit like this where you can move in. There's a lot of different lanes, but there's also cover. Like, yes, DICE. You're learning how to make maps again. Great.
At the data center, we've increased the number of defense points, ensuring that when you're fighting here,
that's cool.
You're fighting for every inch. Each entrance is now better protected, and we've helped to improve.
That's a big fucking change. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. This shit isn't rocket science. We're 7-8 months after launch.
Line of sight breaks throughout the area. At the tower, you'll find the second command and control base.
Yeah.
In Breakthrough, this is a crucial flag with a much clearer front line and more cover for attackers to use in their advance. Over at the park, we've ripped out the walkways and created more cover. You'll find that the infantry experience has improved here, adding a giant tree and making the gazebo smaller to create a stronger defensive layout.
This looks dope too. Absolutely. Like, all of this looks awesome. Who is going to be playing this when Kaleidoscope comes out? Are people coming back for map changes? Like, there's so much more. I can't wait to see what they say about the specialists. Like, if those specialists aren't being completely like reworked into classes, I mean, just shut it down.
And now, while a little earlier in the process, let's take a look at Renewal and how it is that'll play when it arrives in Season 2.
In Season 2, so we're getting like a map and then one map rework per season. That is fucking that's brutal. This map pissed me off.
Kaleidoscope, the whole map has been reviewed with the intent set on improving the infantry and CQC experience.
Okay.
Flags are much closer, with out-of-the-way sectors cut entirely from the battlefield to improve the flow of combat.
It sucks because this area was actually one of the more like interesting, like outside of the desert area, and it's just like being like cut down into a spawn point. That's a little unfortunate. Look how big this spawn point is. That's crazy. But yeah, moving flags in. I think I read something about Breakthrough being dropped from 128 to 64. This is a nice change.
There's all new assets deployed across the map with improved destruction and much more of a battlefield feeling than we had at launch. Over at the solar station, we've revised the area to include much more cover. Huge concrete barriers, sandbag walls, and shit.
Dude, fuck yes. Like, I still just go back, like, gamers are just telling you this. You're $1 billion studio, and it took you... Well, by the time Season 2 comes out, it's going to be almost a year since the game launched. So it took you guys a year.
Shipping containers, saving the warehouses as the best place to take shelter from the aerial assault. Out in the desert, we've reworked the terrain to help create clear paths for infantry and vehicles.
Clear pathing,
improved line of sight blockers that let you move with more purpose between the flags and help.
You can see they raised some of the rock terrain as well, so you can at least have some cover to like lay down, maybe block incoming fire. I like it. I wish there was more almost like valleys. Like you can see like the height difference here. When you get up into here, you still don't have really a lot of cover. You know, you can get shot from pretty much all of these sight lines. We'll have to see how it plays, but
help to better direct the action into clearer front lines. The battery farm has been simplified, reducing the number of possible angles of attack and increasing cover where it's needed most. Up ahead at the checkpoint, we fortified the farm side, allowing attackers to move more strategically in their advance, with vehicles providing your best method of attack. Just watch out for the traps defenders will place in wait. At the Kaleidoscope building, expect a lot more fortification and cover that will need an overwhelming...
Dude, even the way they curve these barricades just to allow the flow to kind of move and then you move left or right, like, it looks great.
...display of force to assault.
I hate that the changes look great because they're making the changes for like 5,000 people.
The interiors have been reworked with new storage areas that give plenty of cover for defenders and improve the close quarters combat action once you get inside. Corridors are full.
Look how fucking empty this building is.
And improve the close quarters combat action once you get inside. Corridor.
And it looks like they're using a lot of the same like sandbags. I don't know if they have like a generation tool where they can just like drag and almost like paint it on and then it just like spawns a physical object. But yeah, man,
this looks full of more line of...
Look at this. There's no cover from any of the sight lines in the windows. Like, who fucking made these maps?
Sight blockers, making them viable defense points, including new lines of sandbags across the windows. We're hard at work on more improvements.
No fucking shit, dude.
To Renewal, and we'll have more to show about the changes we're making here when these updates land in Season 2.
Fucking Season 2. I feel like some of these changes should... Like, hey, so here's where I'm at, right? So you know, as DICE, you have terrible map design, right? And it looks like you have all of these props in here already, all of these assets. Why wouldn't you just push this to the live server right fucking now? Why do we have to make a big event for Renewal 2.0? It's coming. Like, why? Like, does it require more play testing? Here's the thing, guys. You didn't play test the first version. The changes that you guys have made are just, they're clearly better. Why do you need to wait to play test? Just put it the fuck out there.
Let's talk about our next big focus, which is game modes and experience. What are the types of changes we're looking to bring here?
I wonder if they're going to talk about Hazard Zone, because I'm pretty sure like a week after launch, Hazard Zone was fucking dead. Let's see.
It's two key things. One of them is about, variety and depth of what you play. And the other part is more around the available options to give you a better understanding of what you're getting yourself into. And in order to get this, experience the best possible, we've decided to kind of unshackle ourselves from the 128 players mantra that we had for this game. 128 players will still be there, and it's great for some modes, but not everywhere. So we will redirect our focus, build for fun, for freedom, for creativity at all points.
That being the case, then, talk to me some more about the types of changes that we're going to be bringing specifically. Let's start with all-out warfare, and let's talk about Conquest. What improvements are we looking to bring here to the game mode?
Worth saying is that for the coming maps, we will scale them down compared to the launch maps to give much more focus in the experience. This might mean that, there will be fewer sectors, we have maybe fewer capture points.
Dude, so they're dialing back to 64 players. Great move. They're making a Battlefield game, guys. Can you fucking believe it?
Ultimately, we want to ensure that your Conquest experience have kind of intense combat areas. And above all, for me, is those times when you feel that you're getting shot at from all directions by the enemy to help you get in control. And we can do this through design.
Okay, so if that's going to be Conquest, what about Breakthrough? What changes are we making here?
I love Breakthrough. I've always done, and it's that immersive frontline experience. And in the light of the 128-player discussion here, in order to retain, the promise that it comes with of outsmarting your opponents, we have taken an active decision now to move permanently to 64 players to gain a better gameplay experience. Let's focus on fun. Let's focus.
Yeah, exactly, DICE. Let's bring it back to where you guys were at a fucking decade ago when people were asking you about 128 players. I believe it was for Battlefield 3. And you guys said that it doesn't make sense to go past 64 players. This is you. Might not be the same people there, but like keep those mantras the same. 128 players does not fucking work on the maps you have. And I love how in this clip, you can literally see a Jeep just floating in midair. What the fuck is going on over there?
On capturing what it's all about.
All right, it's dropping in. All right. I thought it was flying off a building or some shit.
And enabling our players on the battlefield. You know, we can take all of the knowledge we have in this house when it comes to Battlefield 1, Battlefield 5 in building breakthrough in great ways for 64 players.
Let's talk a little bit about Hazard Zone. What's our future here?
What is the future of Hazard Zone?
I'm the first to acknowledge, you know, high hopes. We set out on a path, but we haven't gained the traction we wanted with this mode. You can still find it in the mode selection screen. But for the maps that are coming in the seasons, we want to put it as a focus. When we look at
so they're done. They're done with Hazard Zone. They sent content creators old hard drives. They made it seem like the next best thing. Wow. Yeah. You know what though? Nobody's playing it. So why put resources there, I guess.
At where our players are today, it means that we can pour our love and resources into the all-out warfare experience where
the only reason why they're keeping it like available to still queue for is because if they took it out, it would fuck their marketing, because some people bought the game based on Hazard Zone and they wanted to play Hazard Zone. And if that experience isn't there, that experience that was listed on the box, listed on the storefront, then they didn't get the game they paid for, and they could probably request a refund. Interesting.
We can focus on additional tools for even more.
And that actually, dude, it makes total fucking sense. The only reason why they're not reworking all of the maps for 64 players, you know, like they said all future content is 64, it's because if they take the 128 players out of it, the marketing goes out the fucking window and people can then request refunds. Priorities, DICE.
More fun.
Fuck off.
So we've covered our plans for maps, we've covered our plans for game modes and experiences. Next, we want to talk about core gameplay. And there's a lot to unpack here, so do stick with us. Obviously, there's
Specialist,
a big
baby.
change, on a big area that we want to address today, and that's specialists.
Yeah, let's get to it.
I mean, I think, you know, we've talked about this a lot. I think, you know, this isn't the easiest topic, but I think the key...
It is an easy topic. Your specialists suck ass. Take them out of the fucking game.
For us is that we've heard you, and I think, you know, when we look at this, the feedback we're getting, I mean, these have both been polarizing, but they've also been confusing. There's that sort of disconnect between the quips you hear from these specialists, and they don't quite fit, and they break the immersion for players, which has always been core to Battlefield. They're too pristine, right? So we need to...
That's the biggest problem you guys see with specialists, is the quips at the end of round screen. Granted, they are fucking terrible. The specialists are trash. They were made only to monetize and sell skins for.
That, you know, they need to be dirty, they need to be gritty. How do we fit that in? So what you're going to see in the specialist is improved VO that kind of really fits them in the world.
Dude, what? You're putting some scrapes and scabs on Buddy's nose? That's all we're getting?
Body posture is to sort of make them sort of fit in that Battlefield character that we're trying to create.
What the fuck?
You know, when it comes to we're bringing these changes and improvements to the gameplay side of our specialists, I mean, this is something the team is still very focused on. We're just not yet in a space where we can share the final plan. You know, as we shared earlier this year, you know, we set out on the task of finding ways to better mesh these into our core gameplay loops, you know, better communicating how these fit into the class structure of 2042, which was always our intent. The things that are stopping us from moving, you know, doing these changes sooner is to making sure that we can still deliver the key content that our players need and address all the other changes that you need to make. We know that what we have in the game today can be improved. You know, we've taken the expectations that our players have and they've shared with us, you know, and we want to make sure that we can deliver on that at the best possible quality. I mean, we're not walking away from specialists. They're a key part of 2042, but we need to make sure we get it right and we can.
Why are they a key part? I'm so confused. Why do we need this? Nobody like, what are we doing? You're going to dust up their faces and take away their end of round quips, and that's where we're at? What the fuck?
And deliver to our players what they deserve.
Dude, they just don't. They still do not get it.
Now,
Gunplay.
onto Gunplay. Naturally, you'll have seen loads of updates and improvements that we've helped to bring to the game over the last few months, but particularly with our most recent update last month. But there's some longer-term plans too. Lars, do you want to talk us through them?
Definitely. You'll see more vehicles, weapons, gadgets. While this is happening, we'll have a continuous focus on the balance of our weapons across the board. While we do have our new
I mean, does that even need to be said at this point? Like, you're an FPS developer, and when you introduce more weapons, you want to make sure they're balanced. Pat on the back, like, okay.
The plus menu, you know, attachment system.
Yeah.
I mean, that one definitely helps you to take each weapon and give unique play styles within it.
Okay, this is just
also
fluff.
started an initiative where we are cherry picking a number of classic weapons from Portal to be able to rework these to be brought into the all-out warfare. So more weapons up to the standards across
more weapons. Yeah, okay.
the board. Weapons, guns. Do I need to say more?
Make an FPS game, and instead of creating new weapons for the time period that we're playing in, you're taking Portal weapons and reworking them to just get in there. You're not creating new content. You're basically almost like kit bashing fucking old content. Need I say more? Yeah. Holy fuck, dude.
But everything he does.
No, I don't think he does either.
And the polishing updates that we're helping to bring to the game here. In July, as part of Season 1, we've got some big updates coming to how our traversal kind of works. So let's take a quick look at that.
Our goal is to improve the readability of body motions in third person and making our soldier animations look more alive and believable.
Okay.
A great example of this is disconnecting the aiming from turning. When aiming around, the soldier can now rotate his upper body separately from the lower body until they get to an uncomfortable position, which causes the lower body to reposition in a more natural and comfortable manner.
This isn't even this isn't even that big of a change. Like, it looks way better, right? But it shouldn't have taken them this long to do it. Our soldiers look more lifelike from $1 billion studio in 2022. Great.
Another example of this includes several improvements to changing directions when either running around or sprinting. Portions of the body can now lean towards the direction of the movement, which makes for nicer looking animations, as well as more natural and predictable movements.
Yeah, that looks way better. It's amazing what happens when you actually put effort in. That's what this whole video can be summed up. Hey guys, the game's going to get better when we decide to put work in.
Playing Battlefield. And so getting team play where it needs to be, that is something that we're working on. What have we got planned there?
The team is looking quite heavily at how we can pull those things together. How do I make building a squad easier? How do I make sure I can find my friends and play with, be that, you know, on the same platform or cross-platform? You'll start to see the first pass in Season 1 with some of the UI improvements, and those are going to continue as we try and make the UI more understandable, more accessible for both finding.
Dude, we're talking about first pass implementations in Season 1, 6, 7, 8 months after launch. I just, honestly, man, at this point, some of these changes look great. The map changes look good. The animation changes to like running and, you know, moving around, and the body kind of, like, all of that looks amazing. What the fuck took so long? What were you guys doing for the entire development of 2042? I like, who are these changes for at this point? Dude, this whole video is just going to be me being very, very sassy.
Okay, finally then, to cover our upcoming content. Lars, where are we at with that?
Next month, with the launch of Season 1. It really is going to mark, you know, the start of a year of delivery. 4 seasons, 4 new specialists, new exotic locations for you to play on, and tons of new gameplay content. All of these seasons will then come with their own battle pass for you.
Bro, fuck your battle pass.
Extra push, something to achieve. All of us in this building are here ultimately to ensure that you're out there on the battlefield, playing together, having fun, finding new ways to outsmart each other. And in order to do that and keep you going, we are committing to, you know, more weekly missions, to new featured experiences, to new community spotlights, more to keep us all happy and going on the battlefield.
So that's our 4 areas of focus for the future of Battlefield 2042, which I'll help to summarise here before we hear from Ryan one final time. Maps, we're making sure that we're reworking both our existing maps, starting with Kaleidoscope as part of Season 1, to help address some of the issues and frustrations that I know we've talked a lot about over the last few months. Experiences and game modes, we are unshackling ourselves from 128 players. You'll still experience it in Conquest, but do expect to see that with Breakthrough, we're moving down to 64 players. So that we can help to really drive the focus into the fun that we have in Battlefield 2042.
Sure.
With core gameplay, there is a lot to unpack here.
Dude, core gameplay, and it shows scars and fucking dirt on character models. Got it.
Starting with specialists, but also the improvements that we still have coming to gunplay, to team play, to UI and UX stuff that you can read about over on the Battlefield website. And then finally, new content. It's coming soon. We have our new season starting next month, and that is going to kickstart a whole new year of us bringing new things onto the Battlefield. Now, we'll keep updating you on our areas of focus throughout the year, and you'll hear again from me next month when we come back to talk about the new season with members of the Battlefield team. But before we go, we want to hear from Ryan one last time, because I know you wanted to talk to the players directly.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
Ooh, this will be good. If it's anything short of an apology, I do not care.
I mean, Lars and I are here today, and we're really grateful to be able to represent the entire Battlefield team and reaffirm our commitment to Battlefield 2042. The team has made a ton of updates to this game, but we know it's not enough, and we know we need to keep doing more. So on behalf of the team at Ripple Effect, EA Gothenburg, our new studio in Seattle, DICE, and all of the Battlefielders across EA, we just want you to know that we are here. So thank you for sticking with us. And to steal a line from my good friend Lars here, we'll see you on the battlefield.
Listen, man, I'm a fucking asshole. Cool changes. I mean, on one monitor, I got a lot of cool changes coming to Battlefield. And then on the other monitor, I got literally 2142 24-hour peak. The game average players, let's just talk about the peak. We haven't seen a peak player base of over, I mean, we could go 10,000 since January of 2022. And that was, you know, shortly after launch, and the game was dipping at the time. Literally average players, 2042.9 in the last 30 days, which I think is just beautiful. And don't get it twisted, I don't want to see this game fail, but what I do want to see are gamers start to not support games and developers that are fucking you. And that's what DICE did. Ryan can do the I want to talk directly to you. We hear you. We're here. Where were you at launch? Where were you during the alpha when people were saying that the game's probably not going to be ready? Where were you at beta? Where were you at launch? We're 6 months out from the launch of this, and we're just getting to season 1, and we still don't know what kind of content we're getting in season 1. We know we're getting new locations, a new operator. What does the map look like? What's in the battle pass? We don't know a fucking thing. I really just don't see the point in any of this. And look, if in a year's time Battlefield 2042 turns around, I'll try it and I'll play it and I'll probably enjoy it and try to get my money's worth out of that game. But right now, do you guys really give a shit? Like, who gives a shit? Let me know in the comments. If you guys are watching and you made it this far, let me know what you guys think. Leave a like on the video while you're down there. Pick up a t-shirt, PTFO. That's what the DICE devs should have done. They should have played the fucking objective. Okay? TTKapparel.com. My name is Big Fry. Appreciate you guys watching. I guess I'll see you on the battlefield.